I think people are that interested in talking about only yourself all the time. Like, it's so, it's just not a good feeling. You don't carry good vibes around, no offense. And so in middle school, one problem that I had was I liked to get attention. And I felt like I was entitled to that attention. So I would do really random things. I would like be annoying to people. I would try to get their attention, try to make people laugh. But it was not very good. It made people turn away from me and made other people feel really bad and awful. If they made me feel really awful because I began to lose a lot of my friends because they were starting to get really frustrated and just did not want to be with me anymore. And this sounds really silly, and honestly, it's kind of embarrassing now that I think about it. But because like we're, let's say, in the group conversation, and I'm like telling a funny story or trying to tell a story or just trying to have a conversation, and then after that, if nobody really gives me like that much of a reaction or anything, I will feel pretty bad, or I might even feel frustrated or angry. I'd be like, why am I not getting the attention that I deserve? Which is a red flag to say that I deserve attention. But instead of like figuring out how to move on from there and how to humble myself, I went through a very self-deprecating like time period, which in itself is also another form of pride, because I'm still thinking about myself instead of other people. I'm still thinking about, man, I was such a loser or whatever, instead of thinking, okay, how can I try to help other people feel more comfortable, or how can I help people feel more loved? In those desperate times of me trying to find solace or comfort, that's when I turned to Jesus and realized, okay, Lord Jesus, I need you. Everything that I've done, everything that stems from my pride of wanting to get attention, or my pride of trying to be this know-it-all or anything, take that away from me, Lord, and let me try to live a life for you instead. And so after that, after I did become a Christian, I started learning more about what the Bible has to actually say about pride, and especially in contrast with humility. There's a lot of great verses out there, like Philippians 2:3-4. It says, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others. Because of that, I basically just started learning, hey, instead of thinking about myself all the time, instead of thinking, how can I get attention for myself, how can I help other people more? How can I love other people more? And so when I've actually started including other people, and I started actually humbling myself rather than focusing on myself all the time, I don't know, there's just better vibes. There's just better feelings when I have conversations, when I'm actually more interested in the other person rather than trying to promote myself all the time. Nowadays, whenever I'm in a group conversation with people, I try to think about how can I make this other person feel comfortable, rather than how can I make myself feel good coming out of this conversation. If I have to talk to myself back then, or even to myself like from last year even, I would try to tell myself or anyone else who's going through this right now and say, in a pretty blunt way, like, look, it's not about you, duh. But at the same time, learn from what you take what you have learned just now and try to not mess it up again, or just like reprioritize your life on other people instead of yourself. It's tough. It really is tough. But I think once you begin to see that, and once you begin to prioritize that in your life, you'll begin to find more joy in your life. You'll be able to enjoy conversations, not only yourself, but you'll find that other people will be able to enjoy the conversations you're having together as well.